Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by today's video title, we're going to be choosing my June TBR, and I'm going to be allowing a Taylor Swift playlist to choose what I read. So this is kind of like a TBR prompt, but using songs that she's written and taking inspiration from those for the prompts. So I will be listing all of the prompts that I'm using down in my description of this video, just so that you can follow along if you want. I will be saying them, but I chose 5 songs from each of her 11 albums and I made prompts for those. They will be listed below. And then I made a Spotify playlist of these, what is that, 55 songs? Yes, 55 songs. And I will be letting that playlist pick the prompts. So I've just been trying to think of different ways to choose my TBR, and this kind of just came to me, and I used a little bit of inspiration I found on Pinterest, but I did have to come up with a good majority of these prompts on my own because they became repetitive, and it was like the same 20 songs or so that I was seeing being used for this kind of a concept. So this is my TBR cart as of today. She's pretty full, and I also have 7 more books coming in a book outlet package soon. So I may add one of those in if it fits a prompt better than one that I have, but I'm going to try to stick to what I have here. The top level, and there are a ton of books on the back too. The top level is my priority for the summer, so I will be trying to choose from here as much as I can, but anything's fair game. I do not know how this is gonna go, so bear with me. I am filming this early just in case for some reason it doesn't work out how I expected it to, but I'm in a huge romance mood right now. It is summer. It is almost the end of May, so it is summer, and in my mind. It's warm, the sun's out, the days are long, things are happening now, so romance books are what I'm gravitating towards just because they're short, they're easy reads, they're fun, they just scream summer to me. So taking a little bit of a back step on some thrillers and fantasies, unless it's a romantasy, then I will still read it, and reaching for a lot more romances. So let's hope this goes well, and let's get started. I have my playlist, so I have Taylor Picks My TBR, if that wants to focus. We're gonna hit play. I put it on shuffle and we'll hit play. 3 a.m. So I Bet You Think About Me, Chris Stapleton's duet with her. And that prompt, so that's from Red. That is a word me in the title. That is the prompt. So the word me needs to be in the title. I see 1, which is also up there, so it's not bad. There's also a thriller. Okay, so I think these are the 2 that I have. I do not think that anything coming in my... Nope, nothing coming from Book Outlet. Okay, so these are my 2 options. I have Restore Me by Tahara Mafi. This is the next book I need to read in the Shatter Me series. So this is on my summer TBR, so this would be an excellent choice, probably the one I'm going to pick. But then I also have Karen M. McManus's You'll Be the Death of Me, which is a separate book from like her One of Us is Lying series, which is something I do want to read, but I think just because this is on my TBR for summer, this is more fantasy romance, what I'm in the mood for, I'm just going to go with Restore Me. That is the 4th book, I believe, in the Shatter Me series. So I have 2 more to read after this one. So that went pretty well. First choice. Let's go back to Spotify. And next song. Betty. So that I think is a name in the title, but let's check. So that's off Folklore and it is name in the title. So this just has to have somebody's name in the title. I'm seeing 1. I'm not even gonna pick those other 2 because I know I'm not gonna read them right now. So these are the options we have. The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson, which is a thriller. Rachel Price obviously being the name. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Nope, that's not her name. So nope, that one doesn't count. I don't know why I thought that was her name. We have The Lost Book of Eleanor Dare, which is by Kimberly Brock. This is like a historical fiction book. I've been really interested in reading that. And then I have Magnolia Park's A Long Way Home, which is on my summer TBR. So I should pick this one. But I also kind of want to pick this one. I think I'm actually going to go with The Lost Book of Eleanor Dare. I still have a few months. June's the first month of summer. I have July and August if I want to read Magnolia Parks, and I just don't think I'm ready to have my heart ripped out. So we're going to go with The Lost Book of Eleanor Dare, and this is kind of like a historical fiction book that takes place around the family of the Dare family, which was one of the families that was lost on Roanoke Island back when settlers came here. And this is about family further on from that, and them finding her diary and kind of trying to piece together what happened on that during that disappearance. I picked that one up on vacation because we do go to the Outer Banks, which Roanoke Island is Manio. That's part of the Outer Banks, at least for us. Okay, I think I didn't say how many books I'm picking. I'm going to pick 10, which is what I usually pick. I don't know that I'm going to get through all 10 of these. I'm hoping most of them come from here so that I can just go from those, but we'll see as we're going along what I pick. So next one is, okay, so Last Kiss is the next song. And I have to like stop this quickly so that I don't get copyrighted. Last Kiss is off of Speak Now, and that was the final book in a series. I only see one right now. I think I'm gonna have to go with that one, which is fine. Gives me a little bit of variety. Then I'll be done with this series, which is nice. So I have the Atlas Complex. I just read the Atlas Paradox in May, so I'm just gonna finish it out. And this is the third and final book in the Atlas 6 trilogy. I am a little scared of this because I have not heard the best things about this book. And I do enjoy this series. I have enjoyed the first two books, but sometimes I feel like Olivia Blake's writing makes it almost kind of difficult to understand, if that makes sense. Like, it's almost like she's trying to overcomplicate things to make it sound smarter, but sometimes my brain just can't wrap itself around it. So I am looking forward to being done with this series because I have enjoyed it. So that'll just tick one off my list, which is fantastic. So the last book in a series is the Atlas Complex. All right, so moving on to book number 4. The One. I believe that is a number in the title. But let us double check. That is from Folklore as well. Ooh, that is not a number in the title. It is a The One is a 5-star prediction. I have a book in mind. I don't know that that'll be 5 stars. Romances typically aren't 5 stars for me, so I think I'm gonna stay away from that one. And I think I'm gonna go with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It is difficult for me to figure out what's gonna be a 5-star because I am very, very not generous with giving 5 stars. So I don't know that this will be, but I really do think I'm gonna enjoy this book. And it's like the perfect vibe for summer. I know that this happens a little bit in winter, but just the feelings of the coziness and the fairies and the romance that are in this, and it's like low stakes, especially because I have to read something like the Atlas Complex. I think this will be a good possibility for a 5-star read for me. So we're gonna go with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies for a 5-star prediction. And that is 2 books off of my summer TBR. So that's great. Next. Love story. Probably something to do with romance. Just gonna guess. That is off of Fearless, and that is Forbidden Love. Okay. I guess that's kind of... It could be interpreted a few different ways, I think. Because like Belladonna might be considered that because like I think the love interest is death. Twisted Love, I think, is brother's best friend, so that could be. It's like a love that was never supposed to happen. But so is Wild Love, because I think that is also Yeah, because Ford knows damn well he shouldn't cross this line, but shouldn't and can't are two very different things. So we could consider that, and that's off of my summer TBR. I know finally mine's not. That's Friends to Lovers. I think this might be my best bet. These two might be my best bet. So this is Brother's Best Friend, Mafia vibes, and then this is Cowboy, Brother's Best Friend's Sister, Brother's Best Friend. And I believe also Single Dad Trope. I really want to read this, so I think I'm going to go with Wild Love. I've been thinking about this ever since I picked it up, so I'm not even going to question it anymore. We're going with Elsie Silver's Wild Love, which is the first in her Rose Hill series that just started. And again, another one off my summer TBR. I am bound and determined to get through all like 15 or 20 books that I want to in the next 3 months. So that is 5 books so far. 5 more to go. I Think He Knows. This is from Lover, and that is Fake Dating. Oh, I love fake dating. Sorry, I'm highlighting the ones that I chose just so I don't forget. Fake Dating. I don't really know what's fake dating on here. Okay, let's see. Are any of these Emily Henry books? Because I do want to read hers. Nope. Also no. I don't think The Deal is either. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yes. Fake dating. So this is Hannah Wells is trying to get her crush to notice her, so she's going to have to step out of her comfort zone and make him take notice, even if it means tutoring the annoying, childish, cocky captain of the hockey team in exchange for a pretend date. So yes, Fake Dating, The Deal by Elle Kennedy. This is the first in the Off-Campus series, I think. Yes, the Off-Campus series, and I've been wanting to read this for a while. I did listen to the audiobook of The Graham Effect, which is the daughter of the couple that gets together in this book, but I don't really care with it. I know they get together. It's a romance book. I know they're going to get together. So, very excited to finally start this series and see my thoughts on it. That was book 6, so now we have 7. Style. This is from 1989. Person on the cover. Perfect, because this gives me pretty much free reign. Or do I want to read an Emily Henry book? I'm literally picking all romances. Oh no, I guess 2 aren't. 3 aren't. 4. Okay, no, I'm not. I lied. That's not completely at all picking romances. I think I might go for... Which one's the oldest? People We Meet on Vacation? Beach Read. Perfect for the summer. There are 2 people on this cover. So I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I did just read my first Emily Henry book in May. Was it May? Nope, April. I read Happy Place. This is about Augustus Everett, and he's a literary fiction author, and January Edwards writes romance, and I think they switch. They strike a deal designed to force him out of the creative ruts. So I think they call him Gus. He's going to spend the summer writing something happy, and January will pen the next great American novel. So they're going to go on field trips to kind of like get each other in the right headspace for it, and probably fall in love in the meantime. So I'm excited to read another Emily Henry to see how I feel. I didn't love Happy Place romance-wise. I liked the overarching storyline of friendships changing as you get older. That was something that was interesting and kind of refreshing to read about. And like, you know, a slap to the face to realize that, yeah, that is true. We'll see. My sister owned these books, so it's not like I had to go buy them. And I just kind of want to read them to read them. So Beach Read by Emily Henry. For a person on the cover. Book number 8. This is fun. Like, I don't want to stop. Book number 8. If I pick a bunch of romances, I may pick 12, but we'll see. Fearless. Off of Fearless. And that is Characters Go on an Adventure Trip. I think I know what I'm going to pick for this one. I am going to take all of my romances off the shelf. I think I'm just going to go with this one. So this is about an archaeologist, Corey, who has wanted to lead an expedition into the Mexican jungle in search of the long-lost remains of her ancestor, Kamali, an ancient warrior of the Aztec Empire. So she's invited to go on an all-expenses-paid dig just to do that. And she's sure it's too good to be true, and that is because her nemesis, Dr. Ford Matthews, has been finding new ways to best her since they were in grad school, and he is going to be on the dig as well. So that's an adventure. a trip. They're going to dig in Mexico. This, I believe, will probably be a nice quick read. I think it's like a rom-com. It's supposed to be like a play on Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is Raiders of the Lost Heart. Enemies to lovers. We'll see how that ends up, but I haven't really heard much about this. I've seen it, but I haven't really heard much about what people think about it. Allie Hazelwood has blurbed it, so we're going to trust her, and we're going to go with Raiders of the Lost Heart for characters go on an adventure / trip. Okay, so this is number 9. Long story short, oh no, I think I know what that is. So this is off of Evermore and is a book that is over 500 pages. Let's take a quick count on what I have. So I have 1, 2 fantasy, 1 cozy fantasy, a historical fiction, and 4 romances. I don't have a thriller. And I kind of want to throw one in there, but I don't because I have a video. You know what I might do? I don't think this is going to match it. I don't think it's going to be... No. Thrillers like usually aren't 500 pages long. If they are, something's not right. I don't even know if I have what my options are for over 500 pages. I think these 2 might be the only ones up here. This one's an option. All right, the one time, Lucy, score that I needed you to be over 500 pages, you're not. And I think this is. Yeah. Okay. What do I want to do? So I have Binding 13 and Magnolia Parks as 2 romance options that will both probably rip my heart out. I have Renegades by Marissa Myers starting a new series. So would Binding 13. I have King of Scars, which is the first in the last duology of the Grishaverse that I need to start. I have Dance of Thieves, which is the first of a duology. And then I have Mistborn, which is the first of a giant world that I have not decided to embark into yet. I don't think I want to start Mistborn yet. I might go with Renegades just because it's sci-fi, so it's different, and it's YA, so it'll hopefully be a quick read. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This is a sci-fi superhero story. Humans with extraordinary abilities who emerge from the ruins of a crumbled society and establish peace and order where chaos reigned. That's the Renegades. So Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she is on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade boy who believes in justice and in Nova, but Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has the power to end them both. I did try to read Heartless by Marissa Myers, and I didn't like it. I actually ended up DNFing it. So I only bought the first book in this series, but you know what? Let's give it a go. Why not? All right, so that was book 9. So let's do 10, and then we'll make a decision on if we want to do 12. Last time I did that to myself, I hated it. But these are a lot of romance, so I think I could be okay. So the last 10th book is I Forgot That You Existed, which I think is my oldest book on my TBR. That is also off of Lover. Yep. Been on my TBR the longest. So I think these 2 have been on my TBR the longest. So I have Veronica Roth's Chosen Ones and Denise Mina's Conviction, which I think is a thriller. Yeah, so this is a twisting, dark, comic thrill-a-minute ride. If you loved Killing Eve, you'll devour Eviction. You know what? Conviction. I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm not even going to read the other one. These 2 I bought at the same time last year, like early spring last year, and I think they're the only ones really left on my TBR from last year, that early last year. I've actually been very good at reading books that I bought last year. So we're going to go with Conviction. So this woman is listening to a true crime podcast while she's like, just going about her day, taking her kids to school, and then her husband comes downstairs with an announcement, and she is shockingly alone. I wonder if she's leaving him, or he's leaving her. Okay, so this is interesting. Like, she's listening to this podcast and she's like trying to lose herself in it and finds out that the case is actually her problem because she knows one of the victims from an earlier life, like earlier in her life. So that's interesting. I guess I'd say like true crime podcast turns a little too real for this woman. Sounds interesting. Definitely one of the oldest books on my TBR because I said I bought it at the same time as that, and I'm pretty sure they're the oldest ones. So we're going to go with Conviction by Denise Mina. And you know what? We're going to pick 2 more because I'm having fun. How You Get the Girl. It's also from 1980. We have not got any Reputation, any Midnights, any Tortured Poets. I put them all on here. He Falls Harder and First. Let's see if I can Google that and see what comes up. Goodreads. Let's see what they say. Okay, so actually there is one, and I don't have it yet, but Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco is apparently listed as He Falls First and Harder. I don't know if that's true. I don't have it physically, but I did. It is one of the books I ordered from Book Outlet, so I will be adding that one to the TBR. All right, so that was 12 or 11, so we're going to do 12. We'll do one more. I don't want to stop. Our Song. I think this is Childhood Friends. Yep, Childhood Friends to Lovers. I am struggling. None of those. I don't think they were considered childhood friends. I mean, this might be the closest I have to childhood friends because they were friends in their... It's just going to be difficult. They were friends as children and he had a crush on her when they were younger. Okay, so this kind of takes place a little bit into the first book that I read in this series. Like partway through the book, this one starts. So that's an option. I don't think Half a Soul is. Nope. I know that's not. No. I don't know if Twisted Love counts as that. It might be just as much like as this one. I don't think they were friends when she was a child. Okay, we're gonna go with this one because I know they knew each other at least like when they were in high school. So we're gonna go with Finally Mine by Lucy Score, second book in the Benevolence trilogy. And this will be the final book we're adding to the TBR for the month of June. Okay, so to recap, we picked 12 books this month, being a little bit ambitious with this TBR. So the first one was I Bet You Think About Me, which was the word me in the title, and I chose Restore Me by Tahira Mafi. This is the next book I need to read in the Shatter Me series. This is the 4th book in the series. Then Betty came on, and we had to pick a book with the name in the title, and I chose The Lost Book of Eleanor Dare by Kimberly Brock. This is a historical fiction. Then Last Kiss came on, and we had to choose the last book in a series, so I chose The Atlas Complex by Olivia Blake. This is a fantasy, kind of a dark academia fantasy. Then we heard The One, which was a 5-star prediction, so I chose Emily Wilde's The Encyclopedia of Fairies. Then we heard Love Story, which was Forbidden Love, and I chose Wild Love by Elsie Silver, the first book in her Rose Hill series. Then it was I Think He Knows, which is fake dating, so I chose The Deal by Elle Kennedy. Next up was Style, which was a person on the cover, so I chose Beach Read by Emily Henry. Then we had Fearless, which was characters go on an adventure or a trip, so I chose Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. Then we had Long Story Short, which is a book over 500 pages. I chose Renegades by Marissa Myers. Then I Forgot That You Existed was the book that's been on my TBR the longest. I chose Denise Mina's Conviction. Then we heard How You Get the Girl, which is He Falls First and Harder, and that is Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco, which I will have this week sometime when it comes in the mail. And finally, we had Our Song, which is Childhood Friends to Lovers, and I chose Finally Mine by Lucy Score. So those are the 12 books I will be reading, hopefully, in June. I did get to pick quite a few books off of my summer TBR, so that was fantastic. And I will do as many reading vlogs with these books as I can. I'm hoping to get through all 12 because I do have some other videos planned next month that will require me to read some more books. But I want to give myself a good variety. I'm not slumping, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I might be questioning that. So I wanted to put a lot of quick reads, romances, fun reads on here for summer. I do have a few weekends in June where I'm not going to be able to read it all because of like music festivals and events I'm going to. So I wanted to pick some quick short reads. We will see how the month goes, but I thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, let me know your thoughts on this kind of a style of video. I can maybe do it similarly but differently with something else. I have a thought for September's TBR that's going to be similar to this, but let me know what you think, and I will hopefully see you all in the next video.